Design Review Board of July 3rd. If we could first start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we'll start with attendance,
So noted.
right? And then for public comment, if there's anybody that's not one of the applicants that wants to come up, because the applicants will all get a chance later. No? Okay, we'll close public comment. So first we'll go to the minutes of June 19th. Unless there's any changes, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve is submitted.
Motion by Treasurer Shostak,
Support?
support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. So first we'll start with signs. We have 6520 Telegraph Road, Sephora. We'll start with Andrea. What's that?
Yeah, just want to make sure the mic is on. Hello.
No, they're not.
I didn't hear it. Yeah.
I'm not used to being quiet. Usually I'm pretty
I can
loud.
still hear you. Yeah. And Andrea.
Hey, hi, thank you.
And you,
That's
for
better. Good afternoon. Happy
Good
pre-holiday.
afternoon. Great. So we'll start with Andrea, and then is the applicant for Sephora here? Oh, then you'll go next.
Great, thank you. So the proposal we have before you is located at the southwest corner of of Telegraph and Maple. This is the Bloomfield Shopping Center located in the B2 zoning classification. The proposal that we have before you is to add a new sign for a new tenant that maybe some people have heard of. It's Sephora. This is a location that is immediately adjacent to the CVS. It was formerly Pet People and Hollywood Feed. So Sephora is a new tenant, and they are proposing a white internally illuminated sign. As you can see, it's supplied here on your screen. You can see the facade location of it. The applicant is providing a sign that is 30.82 square feet. The sign size that would be permitted would be 43 square feet. So the applicant has come in undersized, and there are no logos or anything that would require a variance. This is a single sign. So it complies with the provisions of our ordinance. And as I noted, it's an internally illuminated channel letter sign. So with that, I can answer any questions. And I also know that we have Mr. Dieters here from Metro Signs that can also answer any questions as well.
Do you want to add anything?
Hello, I'm Kevin Dieters from Metro Signs, and don't really have much to say other than, this is just a standard storefront set of channel letters, internally illuminated. It meets the size requirement, so I don't think there will be any issues, but let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
We love the compliant sizing. That's usually the best part.
All right.
Does anyone have any questions, comments? If not, I look for a motion.
I move to approve as submitted.
Motion by Clerk Brooke,
Support.
support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Always good to see you.
Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
Next, we have 6676 Telegraph Road, Andiamo. And again, we'll start with Andrea and then applicant. Yeah.
So we have a revisitor. We have Andiamo coming back to ask for a slight modification to the design that you had previously approved recently. They wanted to go with a little different style, a little different lettering. That was not their intended style that they wanted previously, so now they're coming back. They are actually coming in again with the two signs they're proposing. One would be on the Telegraph Road frontage, which would be the east elevation facing Telegraph. This would be the sign as proposed. And then they are asking for the exact same size that will be located on the north elevation facing Maple Road. So these are the two signs. They would be permitted, obviously, to have a primary sign, so they could choose to have one now. The secondary sign on the side of the building would require a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals. So they are asking, at least for the approval, as they are currently undergoing the renovations, they really would like to be able to install the sign on the front canopy. Just to note that the sign does come in compliance. It does not require a variance. They were coming in at 40 0.64 square feet, so they do comply with the provisions of our ordinance. So the variance itself would be resultant of the fact that they want the two signs. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. You can see that it is a internally illuminated channel letter, kind of similar to the one we just saw for the Andiamos, in a black font and with the Italia written underneath it. So that is the request before you, and I can certainly answer any questions that you may have. They have a daytime and a nighttime illustration showing where these signs would be located. And again, do we have a representative here for the application?
Come on up.
Good afternoon, Timothy Muller, owner of Curb Appeal Concepts. Andiamo's came in front of you 2 weeks ago with the general contractor had a sign that the owner did not want. I had been working with the owner, so this is the sign that he actually does want on his building on both the north side and the east side. I understand I do have to go to the ZBA to get the second sign approved. I'm not sure, I did email in, I had asked if we could do a temporary banner on the front of this, on the east elevation, just for the fact that build time. These are actually halo lit letters. They're welded letters. It's not a channel letter. So the letters actually are all hand welded in comparison to like a channel letter that has a polycarbonate face with a retainer, and they just screw to the cabinet or into the side walls of the letters. These letters are all one piece. They're all welded, so they do take a little bit more. It's a little more of a custom look, a little more high end. Production time does take a little bit longer than normal, so they actually started the renovation July 1st. They're going to be closed for 10 days, I believe. I will not be able to, especially with the holiday season this week, get that sign up. So they're asking if I can put, as we did take down the sign so they could prepare the awning or the front fascias as they're redoing them, to put a temporary banner up until we get the actual sign done.
Do you have a picture of the temporary that's being requested?
Did you bring it? I can show it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm just gonna move this over.
sorry.
That's okay.
Also, they currently have two signs, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thought I saw that.
And there's no grandfathering because there's two signs already?
No, because they're literally taking down one sign and putting up a new sign,
Okay.
and the style's different. We were not able to do that. It would have to go back for the new sign.
So the banner would look identical to the existing, what we're going to do. It'd just be a white banner with black letters. I did put a border around it just to show the dimensions on it, but it's just a temporary. Like I said, we need to probably about 21 to 28 days for that completion of the letters themselves. So I had sent this over to your other person, but this is the other part of the request.
So it would be to put it up for up to a month, but obviously coming down as soon as the regular.
Our intent is to get it down ASAP, correct?
Because it'll look better, have the pretty one.
Correct.
And this would comply, generally speaking, we allow
Yeah.
up to a 32 square foot
Right.
temporary banner. This is actually this is slightly larger, but it's relatively in scale. We don't have any concerns in terms of it being oversized for the area on which they're gonna locate it, especially since the scale of it is the same as the proposed sign.
Right,
So I'm comfortable with as proposed from our department.
yeah. Looks like just a temporary of what actually is going up. Okay. Do you guys have any questions, comments?
So we're being asked to approve the temporary sign, permanent sign there, and then a permanent sign on the north side?
Correct.
Right.
And a recommendation for a
And
stop
the
at
north
the
side
zoning
requires
board.
a ZBA variance. Okay.
And then the temporary would only be for that 30 days.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm comfortable with it.
I am too.
Someone want to make the motion?
All right, so I'll move that we approve, as presented, a temporary sign for up to 28 days, 38?
30 days.
30 days? 30 days, permanent sign as presented, and a second permanent sign on the north side, pending a variance from the zoning board of appeals.
Motion by Treasurer Shostak,
Support.
support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have 2101 Opdyke Road. We have Hampton, Manor, Bloomfield Hills, and we'll start with Andrea and applicants.
Okay, so I was recently contacted by the owners, actually we have in our audience, of the Bloomfield Memory Care. They have reviewed their recent approval for their signage, and they decided that they wanted to modify that and maybe add a little bit more elements to it as opposed to previously. This is the sign that was approved, which was it was a brick backing with the pin letter mounting. They are now asking to go with more of a traditional brick masonry using the same facing that they have now, but then now adding over to it the ground sign with the same exact language as the previous sign that was approved, which is the Hampton Manor of Bloomfield Hills Assisted Living Memory Care. You can notice that it's 12 inches off the ground. And I also had the applicant submit to me some existing photographs, so just to see that you can see that the landscaping that was required as part of the site plan, that they have installed the boxwoods, and they do have some annuals around the base of the sign. So they wanted to share that with you, with the board. And then they are also very excited because they're recently opened, and they are just looking to add a little bit more attention from Opdyke Road to their facility. This is the approved landscape plan, as you could see, which was part of the site plan originally. And again, this is the sign. It does come, they are also asking for a temporary banner to place because they are already open. And I told them the only way that they could have a banner would be to come before the board and ask them maybe in conjunction with this permanent sign, but we certainly don't allow banners to be used, but sometimes the board will consider it, like in the last one, as it relates to the construction and installation of the permanent sign. So that's exactly what they're asking for, a 2x4 frame in the back of this frame. It would be wrapped around the existing masonry sign, and it would be screwed in the four corners, and it would be in temporary while they're waiting for the permanent sign to be approved. So with this, the sign does comply. They do not exceed their 5 feet maximum over height from grade. The total sign does come in compliance with the provisions of our ordinance, so there would not be any variances. So with that, I would answer any questions, and I certainly have the applicants, owners themselves that could certainly answer any questions as well.
Did you want to come on up at all?
Hello, my name is Rashmi Prasad. We are open for this. Our first resident is moving in Tuesday, so we are really excited. The only thing, we're requesting is the temporary banner because the sign people that are building this sign, they said it'll take about 5 to 6 weeks. And we wanted some visibility of what this facility is, so if we could have a temporary banner to let people know that we are open and this is the name of the facility. So that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Questions?
I have no questions. I'm okay with a 45-day temporary banner. That's how long it takes. The sign looks nice.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the revised permanent sign as presented and to permit a temporary banner for up to 45 days.
Okay, motion by Clerk Brooke,
I'll support.
support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That does pass. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on being your
Places.
first.
I'm sorry. Never
Go
mind.
ahead. No,
How many
sorry.
how many places are there for residents? You have one now, and the max is 58. Great. Great.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Next, we have site improvements. We have 1545, 1523, and 1559 South Hill Boulevard for South Hills of Bloomfield.
It doesn't appear that the applicant is here, but I do know that they were very eager to be on this agenda because this is a project in which they are, because this is not just a single-family residential site, this is a multifamily zoning classification, as you can see on the sign. That's why anytime they do some changes to their buildings, we bring it before the design review board. The request that is before you today, as you can see, the aerial of the existing structures that they're looking to, it would be 1545, 1523, and 1559 South Hill Boulevard. They're asking to replace the shingles, and generally we wouldn't necessarily bring it before you, but because they are changing the color, it's something that is considered a design change, and the design review board does have the authorization to review these submittals as it relates to the change to the site. So currently, they have, you can see they're rather shaded in the building 1 and 7 and 3 located below, and you can see the proposed darker, a timber line and a charcoal is the material that they're providing that would be done on these 3 buildings. But I also would like to ask the board for consideration that moving forward, if the same application were to come forward and they were to seek the same dark charcoal shingle covering on some of their other buildings within their site, that we would look at this consideration and approval to also carry through, assuming that the future proposals are the exact same, that we would allow administratively us to approve that permit in conjunction with your approval today, as so they wouldn't have to come back.
It did sound in their letter like they wanted all of them to have the same color.
Correct. So that's why we thought we would like to extend the ability maybe for them to have a comprehensive approval, and then as we move forward and they pull permits and they go through the phasing, that we would be able to accommodate that.
Any questions for Andrea?
No.
No, I'm okay with giving them what is that even called, where we just give you administrative approval?
I guess I just would say approval for future shingles or future site improvements with the charcoal.
Identical to this.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so then moving forward, that would carry through any approvals, is that it matches what's being presented to you
Is there
today.
a time frame given to that?
Well, we've done the same,
2 years, I mean?
not necessarily a time frame, but if you would like to consider a time frame, I probably would suggest probably 2 years would be reasonable. Because sometimes these things sort of take time if they're going to do the phasing. So I think I would suggest if you wanted to add a time frame, I feel that 24 months would be adequate.
Usually, and we could, I think the reason we haven't is, it's, like you said, it takes a little while, but as long as you mention that GAF timber line, you know, that in your motion, then if they try to change the color, they would have to come back, but as long as they stuck with that, but you could put it.
No, I'm okay. I was just curious.
I would definitely include that color in it.
It's the first time I've heard that request. I just wanted to understand what the
Sure, understood.
the requirement was. All right, well, I'll make a motion that we approve this as presented and give the Planning, Building, and Ordinance Department the ability to administratively approve identical requests featuring the color GAF Timberline HDZ in charcoal
Thank you.
for this applicant.
Right. So we have a motion by Treasurer Shostak,
Support?
support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That passes as well. Next, we have any general new business or past business?
No?
No? So our next meeting is going to be Wednesday, July 17th. And with that, I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Motion by Clerk Brooke,
Support?
support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
That does pass, and happy 4th of July to everybody.
Thank